Welcome to Lady Boss Mamas. This is a new series with myself, Laura Kyttanen, a lifestyle blogger and sensory branding and marketing consultant. And I'm with Molly on this initiative.
And I'm Molly Ades, owner of Molly Ades Maternity, and I blog at soulma.com.
And my little kiddo is 15 months. His name is Aden.
And I have Bennett and Andrew. They are 6 and 8.
Fantastic. And with us today is Nola.
My name is Nola. I'm a photographer at Nola Fontanez Photography. And I have 2 kids. My oldest is 14 and a freshman in high school. And my youngest is 6 and a kindergartner. So I have like a huge gap, a little extra spice to my life. So
amazing. So what we're doing with this series is we're just interviewing other mommy lady bosses, and we're trying to get real on some topics that we all think, but sometimes we're afraid to bring it up because of judgment or all of that kind of BS. So we're going to get real with you today, Nola, and we have our first topic is centered around control.
Who has control these days? Nobody.
So yeah, having the best laid plans and then figuring out that you can't do any of it. So how have you been able to work around that?
I kind of just gave up trying to have control. I'm more like having routine, because I feel like routine then bleeds into control, only because if I try to like control my kids, then it becomes pure chaos in my house. So it's almost like, here's the rules, here's the game plan, you follow it, good, get to do what you want. You don't follow it, there's consequences. So for me in my business, it's the same thing. If I don't, get galleries out on time, I lose clients. If I don't post, I lose followers and then clients. And so it's almost like life punishes me if I don't get my stuff together. And for my kids, it's the same. They just know like, oh, my son didn't put dishes away last night. It's part of his chores. I woke him up 20 minutes earlier this morning. Guess what he was doing? He was putting his dishes away and he was like, I don't want to get up. And I'm like, it's consequence. So that's how I kind of.
Oh, wow.
Control doesn't work. I mean, come on. Like, I can't even control my own self. Like,
yeah, I think that, I even with my 8-year-old and my 6-year-old, to teach, to have them helping out and understanding, when those two things overlap, like the kids and the business, to have an understanding of like, this is, I am at home and I am a mom, but I have this business and they're both like, I think they get that understanding.
Yeah. And I mess up all the time. And I tell them, even when I mess up, I'm like, see what happened? Like, I can't go out with you guys to do this because I didn't finish this. And that's kind of my punishment. So, they know. And I'm so blunt and honest with them. I'm like, yep, so I screwed up. You guys go with dad. I have to stay home. So that's my life.
Getting ready in the morning has been the biggest challenge because I feel like my husband and I, we both have to go. We have lots of things going on in the morning. And so it's kind of like, wait, can you watch him for 10 minutes while I go shower? And then without a doubt, like only 2 minutes later, him and my little boy are in the shower room saying, when are you going to get done? And I'm like, I just got in the shower. How you figured out this whole dance with your partner and how you guys share responsibilities with the planning and like getting ready and walking out the door and all of that?
So mornings are like the hardest, I feel. Mornings are like sometimes where kids fight and lunch. For me, I have 2 kids to drop off, lunches to be made, make sure homework's signed, blah, 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 put your dishes away. No, I'm kidding. So I literally have had like me and my husband, like even if we get little arguments, I'm like, we need to have a meeting. I'm like, because this is not fair. Just because I'm a mom does not mean that is my job is to get up while there's been times that he's at the table, enjoying his coffee and breakfast. And I'm thinking I'm half naked trying to like rally kids to put shoes on so I can get out the door. So we actually have like, we call them meetings, but they're literally sit on the couch and like, listen, if you do this, I'll do this. If you take this off my plate, I'll take this off your plate. Because mornings are like chaos and night times are chaos. Because it's like, when do you breathe about this? Like, when do you like?
I think these are all really like really good,
I tell them, I'm like, you know, you get stressed out with homework, Devin, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, adults get stressed out too. So what you're feeling, I feel too. And I tell them, I'm like, I'm there for you when you're stressed out. So when I come, because I'm so open. I'm like, listen, y'all, I'm stressed out. I need a little bit of a break. I need a talking break. You need to go ask your father. And I say, and so if you hear me say those things, just know you experience it too. So if you want my compassion and my help, you have to give it back. Because really, we're just teaching, we're trying to raise good adults, really. So I just feel like everything I do, I try to do with purpose. Like, this will make him a better adult family person. And it's so tacky and cliche, but I truly believe, like,
I was reading, I get these weekly things from My Baby or something like that, and it talks about where your baby is at. And like just in the last month, it was like, you need to be naming the emotions that you're feeling. And I'm like, how is that going to help a 15-month-old? But the truth is,
truly, I do agree with that.
Yeah, like you're just saying, like when you name the word stress and then you put behind it an example where you know that he is stressed, then he can now relate better to what that word means for you. I think that's just so
when your kids are older too, you can talk differently. With Nyla, I don't say, so do you remember when? I just say, I'm really tired. And she'll even ask me, do you need a hug? She just knows now, like, and I'm like, yeah, even though sadly, sometimes I'm so overworked, I don't even want hugs. I mean, have you ever been to where you don't even want to like be touched? I feel like I want to go to bed. So she's like, oh, are you sad? Do you need a hug? And I have to mentally check myself like, yes, of course, Nyla, I need love. But deep down, I kind of want to run for the hills and like escape.
No, I think every mom feels that way. Don't worry about it.
You know, I'm actually curious because that raises something else that is on my mind. So being a photographer and having so many children, 3 children, have you had to bring them on photo shoots and like be in how have you managed to like work around your children? Has it ever like interfered? Last week I had to take Aiden to a meeting with me and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this?
So I tried to make it a rule not to bring them, only because, not that I mean, I've had a couple friends that I'm like, do you mind if I bring Devin? Devin's not even a question. Like, he's 14. Like, he doesn't, but Nyla, like maybe like 2 or 3 times. And I've realized that with clients that I don't know or whatever, they're paying me a decent amount of money for an experience. And I don't want any of my attention to be on Nyla, because of course I'm going to worry about, is she going to run across the street, or the kids are going to look at her. And so I really try not to bring her. Well, I don't bring her.
You know, respect your family, respect your job, and keep them like.
Yeah. And I think I had to bring her to a new client one time, and then I discounted their session a little bit because I feel like that's only fair. Like, you know what I mean? I know, and everybody's like, why would you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they should have all of me. And I love sessions. I love being with the families and interacting. And it's a break for my kids a little bit. Like, I get a little bit of a mental break, so.
Should you stop texting if another mom yells at you that you're on your phone when you should be paying attention to your child?
I would hand my child to her and say, how about you pay attention to my child so I can finish this text? Like, here you go. You take her.
But this is the whole like judgment and like, especially like
offering,
like playgrounds and like why do parents think that they can give you advice or lecture you on how you're parenting? Like, what is that all about?
People think they know it all. And listen, with Devin when he was younger, I took to heart what people would say to me all the time. And I was like, holy shoot, I'm doing this wrong. And oh my God, they're right. And then he got older and I got older, and then I had Nyla, and I really thought, screw this. Like, we are not promised tomorrow. If I want my daughter to look like a homeless child when we leave, I don't care. If my son, I don't know, like if I want to have a binky to my kid's 16, leave me alone. I'm not saying that I did that, but it's like, it's not, with my son, I did so many, I'll never do this. Oh, I would never do this. And then I had him and I did everything I said I'd never do. So it taught me, like, don't judge others. Like, I'm contradicting what I said I wouldn't do. So why am I going to even like look at somebody else and be, who cares?
Molly, do you think I should should I pull a card?
Yeah, let's do the card and then, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is from What's Your Word, myintent.org. I love these cards, and they all have different themes. And this one is Be Me. And the
Okay.
question is,
Is this fun?
what is most important to you?
What is most important to me? Obviously, the cliche answer is family, which duh. But I really feel what's important to me is happiness. I just feel like enjoy happiness. That's what's most important to me, because I feel when you're happy, your family's happy. And when you're staying, family is most important. Duh, I get it. But in all honesty, like, you kind of just have to enjoy life.
Well, thank you, Nola. We are just so honored to have you on and really appreciate your honesty and authenticity. And I know other mamas are going to really appreciate this too. And you gave us a lot of, I don't know, I'm going to call it golden nuggets. I have no other term for it. I wrote it down. My handwriting's horrible, so I'm going to say it. So, like, operate your family like a team, and people to help, and don't be afraid to ask for help. That was
never. Yeah.
I think number 2 was the whole naming emotions and giving analogies that the kids are going to be able to relate to. That was really, that is a big takeaway for me, because oftentimes I feel like I'm really reactive and I show too much emotion, but instead of just be calm and like naming the emotion and kind of that. I like the show yourself from the beginning. Like, you're teaching your children how to just be themselves and be who they are, and not really, focus on what other people are thinking. And, Molly, you said acceptance of who you are and find your truth. I think that's really good. And then the last golden nugget is around happiness. And Molly, you said it's internal, not external. I think that's really, really true. So mamas out there, Lady Boss Mamas, I hope this helped all of you. And thank you all for watching us, and tune in, because we're going to have a session every week. Thank you.
I sound like a dork talking.
No,
That's how I feel.